Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is episode 8 of the Whimsy Expanded Legacy Challenge Generation 2. Of course, I am back again with Alon, and we actually left him with 2 new Sims joining his household in episode 7, and that was xochitl and her daughter Carmen. So I'm super excited to be back playing with Alon again. So without further ado, let's head on over to gameplay. So everyone, a very sunny Monday morning in San Sequoia. Of course, I am back again with Alon for our Whimsy Expanded Legacy Challenge. And it seems really peaceful now at the moment. But if you remember from our previous episode, we actually ended that episode not just with one sim in our household, meaning Alon, but we actually now have xochitl and Carmen living with us. I am kind of excited because this isn't part of the rules, right? So Alon living with someone isn't part of the rules, and basically I've always considered him being by himself with his pets and with his adopted children, which isn't even supposed to happen anytime soon because he's currently in university. So we had a pop-up during the last episode, and it was xochitl, just kind of asking, we've got work. No, we are going to work from home because we've got class today. So we've got a pop-up from xochitl because in the last episode, we found out that Mrs. Sullivan passed away. Now, let me just pause this so then I could let you know. So because Carmen and xochitl are still both asleep. So I was actually looking at Google. So I was searching them up because I wanted to know who they are. So basically what happened was they are a Luna Sullivan family, and they are one of the pre-made Sims that came with San Sequoia. And basically the description about them is that, that the Luna Sullivan family, it's a little unusual. So Carmen's dad died in a tragic cooking accident, and her dad's name is Colin Sullivan. So that is Eleanor's son. And her mom needed help. So xochitl needed help. So Grandma Eleanor moved in to be the grandma in charge-ish, except Grandma's just as silly as Carmen is. So that's super interesting. And the fact that, I guess xochitl wasn't really coping that well with the loss of her mother-in-law, and she's good friends with Alon, and just kind of said, hey, pretty good friends, and I'm kind of really struggling at the moment. And I was hoping whether I'd be able to crash with you for the time being. And then Alon's like, yeah, sure, why not? And then little did he know that xochitl actually had a teenage daughter who is Carmen. And xochitl never mentioned anything about having a daughter to Alon at all. So then basically Alon now has this teenager living in his house as well. So it's gonna be we're gonna send Carmen alone. So it's gonna be really different in the Whimsy household. So this is Carmen here. Oh my gosh, Naomi again. I'm attracted to you, Alon, and I really want to change our relationship. I know this is risky to say, and there's a high chance that you don't feel the same way, but I still want to know. He actually rejected Naomi already during the previous episode, so he's gonna say, I don't feel that way. So Carmen is actually on her way to school, and when she gets back, then we'll explore more on her aspirations and her traits. So when the Sullivan family was actually made, Carmen was still a child. So obviously she aged up into a teen already during that time period. And of course, Alon is still feeling a little bit sad still because of the passing of Mrs. Sullivan, but I feel like it would be the same as xochitl as well. It's gonna be super interesting. So Alon has class today, and it's the brain is a machine and beginning neuropsychology. Okay, that's fine. So what I'll get him to do, so I guess what's the plan for today? I have no idea, everyone. I think it's gonna be a surprise because Like I said, I wasn't really planning on Alan living with anyone else besides his children and possibly his future spouse if ever he feels that way to anyone at all. Yeah, I'm super keen and just trying to see what the game will throw at us today. Of course, we're going to be working with Alan's assessments and homework, all that uni good stuff. And I also would like him to try and work on his writing as well, writing a book. He hasn't done that in a while. And in regards to xochitl and Carmen, of course, we're going to be working with them as well. But really, they're not our soul. They're not our main focus. Group project. Carmen's latest classroom assignment is a group project. Her group mates are all pretty smart. Should she try to contribute as much as they do or just let them do the work? So firstly, everyone, I've actually given her the aspiration because the aspiration and the traits that were given to her were very randomized, but she's giving me that rebel. She's got that rebel vibe going on, Carmen. And so I've given her that particular aspiration, like pulling pranks and stuff. And I think I also gave her, I forgot the trait that I've given her, but we'll delve more into that later on when she gets back from school. I'm actually going to say she's not going to try to contribute. She's going to let them do it. The other kids agree that they should just do it. But when it comes time for grades, the teacher can tell that Carmen hasn't been pulling her weight. She gets a grade lower than the rest of the group. Performance loss, small. Okay. That's fine. And then for Alan, I'm going to get him to take notes. So he's gone off to uni already. I guess while we're doing that, well, xochitl is still very much asleep. She's going to be waking up very soon. So I might get her to... Can I get you to dry the laundry over here, xochitl? Use this and then maybe just take a shower as well. Do you have work today? You don't. Okay, that's fine. And I'm going to get you just to clean out the spoiled food. She's probably like, okay, I'm gonna try and help out Alan in the house for the meantime, especially since he's at school. He welcomed us with open arms, me and my daughter. So she is probably gonna try and cook. I don't know whether she's very good at cooking, but she's gonna try and attempt tortilla wrapped veggie dogs. What is her cooking skill like? She doesn't have any cooking skill. Okay, that's fine. So xochitl, so while she's doing all of this, let's have a look. Her aspiration is actually soulmate. I don't know whether this is kind of like... That's fine. I don't know whether this is kind of, you know, predicting the future, because technically if Alan, again, I'm not going to force it on Alan, if over time they start to develop feelings with each other, that's great, but I just can't get him to start a relationship before becoming an elder. So this is good. But it's so interesting that her aspiration is soulmate. So obviously she doesn't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. She hasn't gone on dates just yet. And you know, it will be interesting. Maybe she could potentially go on dates as well, because they're just friends. Alan and xochitl are just friends. So she's gonna go about her life. You know, she's gonna either try and find or get a boyfriend or girlfriend and go on dates. And if anything else were to occur, then, you know, so be it between the two of them. I mean, she is also an all-star, so she's a professional athlete. So she's been selected to the all-star team. People from everywhere are asking for her autograph. She's elite on and off the field. Excellent. So she just needs to reach level 6 of charisma and level 9 of the fitness skill. Her skills are not that great. Oh. Okay, why don't you... Let's fill this up afterwards because Kudos is hungry. So she's got level 6 of Salvadorian. Okay. And level 6 of fitness. Level 7 of handness. Level 5 of charisma. And obviously she's only really just started cooking. Oh no. No. Pyra, no. Oh. Because her husband died on a tragic cooking accident. Sure, there was a recent fire here, but it's not like there'd be another one so soon. No way, for sure not. Okay, please don't start a fire. Let's just have a look at her relationship with her daughter. So they've got a supportive dynamic. Okay, that's great. No other sentiments though. And then, what are her traits like? Alright, let me just pause this real quick. So xochitl is active, she's loyal, and she's also outgoing. So she's a provider, extraordinarily caring, social, and popular people, always eager to help. They include volunteering in a community, charity, or religious organizations, celebrating holidays and family traditions, cooking, entertaining, and social sports. She would be happy to have a child. She also prefers exclusive romantic relationships. And she's got a very strong presence. Her charisma is very strong as well. Okay, so she experienced her first fire. I feel like this has probably got to do with her husband. Oh, and she actually reached Mount Komorebi summit. Okay. Okay, there's nothing else. She likes fitness, wellness, guitar, but she actually dislikes cooking. Oops. And then ask for feedback, and then just say, "Hey, xochitl, how's your morning? I've already finished my uni classes. What do you think about my presentation? Like, do you think it's okay? Because I'm planning to actually go to uni and present this as is. What do you think? Any thoughts? What do you think? What do you think about my presentation?" So she's probably saying like, "I think it's fine. I think it's fine, Alan. I think you did a great job. So I think you should just go and give that final presentation. And also, I cooked for the first time, and I really hate cooking." So Alan is off to give that final presentation, and I'd like to think that Alan's like, "Hey, xochitl, if I know that you're an athlete, and if ever I've got a treadmill, I've got like a boxing thing and the heavy lifting machine around the house, so you can use it, especially if you need to train up for your games." And xochitl's like, "Thanks, Alan. Thank you very much. Thank you for being so accommodating and so cool with this." Okay, everyone. So Carmen is back. And basically, I've given her the live fast aspiration. So troublemaker, pull a prank 3 times, get in trouble, sneak out to a party. Now it's funny because when she came over to us, she didn't even have her high school homework with her. That's why I'm just kind of, this would be a first for me, because usually I'd get my Sims to do their homework and their assessments and everything. So I'm going to be very, very chill with her. And her traits, so she's self-absorbed. So the Sims are all about themselves. They can fish for compliments, they're more excited when receiving a present, and they may become tense when they haven't gotten enough attention. The celebrity spotlight is something they generally relish. After all, everyone else should love them as much as they do themselves, right? And she is also an art lover, but she's creatively gifted. Now, when I was looking about her on Google, so I think she was either thinking about art or music. So I've actually got this. I'm gonna get her to practice. If she doesn't like that, then I'll probably get her an easel. So just things, I'm just trying to figure out what Carmen probably likes to do. What I'll get xochitl to do is, come over here, watch your daughter play, do small talk. I wonder whether we could even check in on her and make sure that she's okay, because technically her grandma passed away. Cheer your daughter and just say, "Hey, you're doing really well, good job. Keep on going." What's her parenting skill like? I'm a bit shocked that there's no parenting skill at all. So I feel like it might come down to Alan. Does he even have parenting skills? It's great to be part of this family. Dirty dishes, noise, and all. Excellent. xochitl doesn't have any parenting skills. Like influence to pick out trash, sure. She'll probably say, "Carmen, we need to help out in this household, okay? We need to help out in this household. My friend has been very welcoming of us. So we kind of need to pull our weight on this, okay? Maybe fire up. Okay, I'll get her to do that. Alan's like, I'm done. I'm so sleepy. But yeah. So what I might do, everyone, is we'll check back in on the luna-whimsy household the next day, okay? So everyone, a very different scenery on your screens. We are currently in Copperdale because I've decided to temporarily follow Carmen to school because I am actually interested in trying to do all of these aspirations. So she needs to pull a prank 3 times. So I'm actually getting her to prank the whiteboard and then prank a toilet as well. She's currently about to do that now. Look at her. So mischievous. And after I've done a few things, then obviously we'll refocus onto Alan, of course. But I'm just interested in doing this, that's all. So I'm just getting her to prank the whiteboard and then she's going to prank a toilet as well. I'm going to try and get her to skip a class, actually. There we go. So she's about to prank. Look at that. Excellent. And then I actually want her to be seen by the principal. Go over here, actually. Oh, God, go over here. Go over here. She's like, I'm just kind of touring the school. There we go. They've seen us. Excellent.
Imbaliness wabarani bayumi squirmish.
She's like, but miss, I'm just
Nobi. Shuna flarb. Nobi. Smurgs.
I'm just doing a tour. I don't want to hear your excuses, Miss Luna. You're not in class here getting a detention. You aren't easy to trust. It makes you suspicious. Ooh. So everyone, we are back again, of course, with Alan. So I've left Carmen at school, so she's probably gonna have detention and she'll probably hear something about it from her mom. But xochitl actually has a new personality trait, so she's been making quite a number of clumsy mistakes while exercising, cooking, or crafting lately. Embrace the change, and yes. And then what I'm getting Alan to do is just to tutor a student online because that is one of his work from home assignments. So yeah, it's so different. I feel like it's somewhat different. They haven't really talked about it. So maybe what I might do for this episode is after Alan gets back from his second class of the day, it's probably like, guys, let's have a proper dinner. Yeah, I know that you've really just settled in yesterday, and because I've been so busy with uni and Carmen's already starting her high school, we haven't really had a chance to just kind of talk. And then xochitl's like, Alan, we can, but like I've got work from 2 to 9 p.m. and I'll be here really, really late. And then Alan's like, oh, okay, if that's the case, when are you off? Well, I'm off on Thursday, maybe that might work. And I was like, okay, we'll probably schedule like a proper dinner, like a catch up. So yeah, but yeah, definitely, I could already feel it, that it's somewhat different. And I think Alan is still pretty much, I think he's still pretty, but that's one of the things that I find very interesting and kind of suspicious in a way, everyone. Alan's really sad about the passing of Mrs. Sullivan, right? But that was because, you know, she was his neighbor. And, you know, he invited her over for a few dinner, for a few like the Festival of Lights even. But the thing is, xochitl and Carmen, they don't even have that moodlet anymore. And I would think that they would be more devastated than Alan. So I'm questioning as to why that is. Like, why is Alan more devastated than the daughter-in-law and the granddaughter, you know? So everyone, Alan is back from uni and I'm getting him just to start writing another children's book. He actually called this Melancholy Melodies. And it's gonna take him at least 2 more days in regards to this grief that he's currently feeling in regards to Mrs. Sullivan. Now, he's been giving himself some pep talk. He's been trying to get comforting hugs from his dogs. He's also called the sadness hotline. And currently he's thinking about his dad. So he's trying really hard to get over this grief that surprisingly xochitl and Carmen do not share. And speaking of Carmen, she had about as poor a day as possible. She might as well have been absent from class, and I know that she actually got sent to detention. Now, I don't think xochitl has received a call from the principal about it just yet, so I don't know, maybe for storyline purposes, we'll say that Alan was actually the one who received that call from the principal. And then the principal's like, oh, are you Carmen's dad? I thought she doesn't have a dad. And Alan's like, oh, they're currently living with me at the moment, her and her mom. So I'll talk to her about what happened at school today. So hopefully that will work on his, disciplining toddler, child, or teen 5 times. And I think this is also a good way to kind of weave it into the story of him adopting children. I know that we are supposed to be adopting a child, not a toddler or a teen. But, yes, I do love the rules, and yes, I do follow the rules, but if the game throws me something, then I will just try and incorporate that into the story. And hey, over time, I feel like Alan's gonna get really close with both xochitl and her daughter, and he may come into that conclusion like, hey, you guys should just stay with me here permanently. And xochitl, I can help you raise Carmen as well, especially if you're gonna be, she's probably going to be going on games and matches in different countries, for storyline purposes. So he may adopt, so Carmen may be his first child to adopt. So I'm going to pretend that, well, firstly, I am going to get Alan to do a chatty family call with his dad, just to make sure that he's okay, and then I'll do the exact same thing to Malaya because he's just checking up on them. And then maybe send a text to River and send a text to Asher as well. Okay, so everyone, because Alan hasn't adopted Carmen, I think that's why he's really unable to do any parenting interactions with Carmen. So I'm gonna assume that xochitl's here and she's like, I heard about what happened at school today. Alan was actually the one who told me about it because he received the call. And I don't think she's a strict mom. Oh, she's already said it. Okay, that's fine. And then she's like, so try not to get yourself into detention again, okay? Please do not skip class. So she's very calm about it. She's not strict. And I'm hoping that I won't hear another detention again tomorrow. Okay, Carmen? Please do not skip class. So again, very, very chill.
No.
So everyone, it's the next day. And xochitl is actually asking Alan, like, you've been really quiet lately. Is something wrong? Like, are you okay? And then I think Alan's like, I'm fine. I'm just really trying to get used to this. That's all. And because I think I've just been so used to living by myself. But I'll get used to it. Don't worry. And I'm sorry that I've been really quiet. I didn't mean to do it. And then also the reason why I've been quiet is one, because I'm so stressed because I didn't realize that my exam is actually today. It is actually today. So I'm gonna try and cram as much as I can, if I could even do it before I head on over to uni today. And then Xochel's like, you can do it, Alan. You've submitted your term paper. You've been submitting your homework confidently. You can do it. This exam will be a breeze. It'll be fine. All right, everyone. So I might end this episode over here. I am just getting Alan just to do or get back to his usual routine. And he hasn't done this in a while. He hasn't been able to jog with either Kudos or Noodle for a long time. And today, I feel like it has been a very interesting episode because having Xochitl and Carmine in the household, in the Whimsy household, has been somewhat of a change. And Alan has been pretty quiet about it. Well, firstly, he was still pretty sad about the passing of his neighbor, Mrs. Sullivan, but, you know, kind of noticed that both Xochitl and Carmine were very cool with it very quickly, like quicker than him. And also, you know, he's been stressed with uni and the fact that he still has his work from home assignments. So it's a different dynamic now in his house. He's got a different routine as well. He's trying to kind of communicate with Carmine, but hasn't really been connecting with her at the moment because one, he hasn't had the time, and I think in future episodes he's gonna try and make more of an effort, you know, like he did accept this small family into his household because he's a good person. He wants to help out his friend. He wants to help out Xochitl at her time of need, and she was actually, of course, the one who asked him whether it's possible for her to come and stay with him for the time being. So yeah, it's been very interesting. I still hope that you have enjoyed this episode. I have no idea what the next episode has in store for us, and I'm kind of excited and thrilled about that aspect. So yeah, and if you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all into the next one. See ya. Bye.